Back in the role.
Well,
Back in the role. Back in. Welcome to another episode of North of the Castle podcast, where we talk about all things Universal and Disney and adventure, food, fun, travel. I'm Ruben, this is Dora and Ambrose with me, and we're talking about Universal IP today. Universal intellectual property, and I am a little biased. I low-key love Universal's IP like quite a bit, to the point where, I mean, I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, but I was a little bit disappointed when I went to the parks and I was just like, why is it not this amazing? Because I think the IP is amazing. And I'm like, why doesn't it match? But anyhow, what about you guys?
Okay, so before we get too into it, I want to comment on what you just said. Because Universal parks are amazing. You are just comparing them to Disney parks, and that's a completely different like comparison.
Yes.
And like we can talk all about all the differences between the two, but that's not to say that the Universal parks are not amazing or not worth visiting.
They are. No, they definitely are amazing. It's just when you compare them, it's a little bit lackluster, but nonetheless, the IP is absolutely astounding. Like, you have so many different movies and just so much, you know, especially when you talk about like Jurassic Park, going into Jurassic World, when you look at, I mean, this one's a bit of a hot topic, but we have to include Harry Potter because that's represented in the parks. But technically, Harry Potter is not Universal, so we've been on the edge there. But anyhow, what kind of stands out to you guys when it comes to the Universal IP, and what makes it kind of, you know, stick to you when it comes to the parks?
I think like, okay, so as a adult, I enjoy Universal IP. I think for children, there is a lot of Universal IP that is geared towards children, but I don't think it's as prevalent in the parks. And so I think that's one of the aspects of like, as a kid, I visited Universal a lot as well. My parents would always try to do like a day at Universal, and like we kind of often felt like it was just to ride rides that we didn't necessarily enjoy the movies or enjoy the characters for, because we were just like, oh yeah, we want to ride some extra rides. But as an adult now, like knowing the movies, knowing some of these characters, knowing the IP a bit more, I'm more engaged and I'm more excited. And I think that is like the big thing for me when I think about the Universal IP, is like it kind of is like what you grow into. It's like you kind of grow out of like the Disney princess, Disney like Toy Story phase. Not that some of us ever grow out of it, but you kind of grow out of it and you grow into the Universal IP, and it kind of fits. And it's like a very adult friendly park.
yeah, no, I think I've always heard people say like I don't know, but back then it was like Disney is for like children and their parents, right? And then Universal is more for like teenagers and adults who love like thrill rides and love like more intense rides.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What kind of sticks out to you? I mean, I see you're wearing a Jurassic Park t-shirt. Do you happen to like that IP, Ambrose?
No, I just found this shirt and I was like, I might as well wear it today.
It's a great movie, actually. You should watch it.
I love Jurassic Park. And I just think that like Universal does such a good job with like Jurassic Park, because are we diving right in about Jurassic Park? You could?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. So I love Jurassic Park growing up. I mean, like many people, I think a lot of people listening, and even you guys maybe, I watched Jurassic Park at a way too young of an age.
Yes, me too.
And it was very scary, but it was like, but you know, as a kid, you know, as a young boy, I was like, oh, the dinosaurs are eating people. Wow, that's so intense. But like, I loved it because we always grow up loving dinosaurs, and the fact that when you go to the park, and I remember going into the park, and you can, especially for me, like I've never been to the Universal Florida or any other one besides the Japan one. I've been to Universal Studios Japan, and even and it's very similar to the ones in America. But when you go through the park and you see the gates of Jurassic Park, I think that's so intense and so like, because it allows you to go into the world. And I think what Universal does a really good job of, like especially I guess you would say a new wave of their designs recently. Like way back, they would just have like rides named after certain things, but I think recently they just done an amazing job of getting you immersed into the world. Like we can
Hmm.
go through the full list of different worlds and different individual different properties. But Jurassic Park, amazing because you go into the park,
Right.
there are restaurant theming, and it's just like I don't know, Ruben, you love Jurassic Park. What do you think about Jurassic Park as well?
Yeah, I actually thought it was one of the better themed parks. I've only been to the ones in the States, so
Mm.
Universal Orlando, and then Universal Hollywood. And for I remember Hollywood less, but Orlando I remember pretty distinctly, and it's one of the better themed
Mm.
parks. Like what I mean by that is like when you're walking through, when you're walking towards the ride, like for example the Velocicoaster, you're starting to notice that like all of a sudden the aesthetics are more greenery. You're starting to see more like a statue of like a raptor or a few
Mm-hmm.
raptors. You're
Oh, and they had like the jeeps that you can like
take
take
Mm-hmm.
pictures
like take
with.
pictures
Yeah,
with.
the
Oh yeah.
And they
dinosaurs.
had
T-Rex I think was it probably.
yeah, they had a raptor like experience. You can like
Mm-hmm.
kind of stand and take a picture with the raptor, and then it would like roar or whatever, and then people would get startled. We didn't actually stop. Like we just didn't take the time to like line up and do it because there was a bit of a line, and we were kind of trying to do some more attractions. But they did
Mm-hmm.
have that as well.
Yeah, and like it's like for example, just like the metal gates
Oh
are
yes,
very
yes.
iconic
And the
to
music
the
too, right?
movie. Yeah, I honestly I don't remember the music. I don't know what music they were playing, but I mean maybe they played the Jurassic Park, the theme park, the theme music.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like it was one of the better. I would say that, and
Mm-hmm.
probably if I was veering for 1 second, Dr. Seuss Land was probably one of the best
Ooh.
themed ones. Although I don't know if I'm so much into Dr. Seuss personally,
But
but
like I think it's funny, Ambrose, because you said like, oh yeah, you grew up watching it a little bit too young, and
Mm-hmm.
like you're like like everyone who doesn't love dinosaurs. I'm like, I didn't grow up loving dinosaurs. I didn't watch Jurassic Park growing up. I still
That's true.
so like don't get mad, but like I still haven't watched any of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies. Like I it's not something that I'm interested in. I'm not going out of my
Mm-hmm.
way to watch it. And maybe I'm just like a really rigid person, but if I'm like, this doesn't look interesting to me, like it would take a lot
Mm-hmm.
for me to commit my time to like watch it. So
That's true.
I've just never watched it. But because we went back in November, and we wanted to ride some of these like bigger rides that we couldn't do with the kids necessarily. We rode the Velocicoaster, and oh my gosh, like that is like it's a crazy ride. It's an intense ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's an understatement.
We were terrified. We were absolutely terrified, and we were shook for a while after that. And we rode it like towards the end of the night, and we were both like, "Okay, we're done. We're done for the day."
Ah.
My legs were jelly. You know when your legs get jelly because you
Mm-hmm.
don't you
Mm-hmm.
have center your gravity. That lasted at least half an hour, maybe an hour for me.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, but it was a really good ride, and
Mm-hmm.
we still like talk about it. We're like, yeah, as much as we were terrified, we'd probably do it again. It was so good, and it like even the queue, like you walk through the ride queue,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like the raptors all like kind of locked up and like caged, but they're like growling at you, and you
Oh yeah.
and
The animatronics for those raptors, by the way, very lifelike, like very
Mm-hmm.
cool.
yeah, oh yeah. And the pre-show was really cool. Like the pre-show, you're seeing Chris Pratt on the screen, and he's warning you. He's like, "Don't do it. Don't ride the ride."
Yeah,
He's like, "Just-"
more Jurassic World
Yeah, yeah,
than Jurassic Park, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, because this ride is pretty new. It only
Mm-hmm.
opened in 21, 22, like
Mhm.
recently.
Yeah. If
It
it's
was
with Jurassic, the new movies.
Yeah, it was completed during COVID. Ruben and I were just talking about it. Like we saw something about how some of the final inspections were done through Zoom, and
That's amazing.
I was like, if I'd known that, I would never have written this because I was already so terrified to write it.
I
It's
think it looks good.
but like, yeah, it's a really cool, really well designed land, and Yeah, I think the reason it's not like a big wow factor to me is that it's more of a like a natural looking aesthetic. Like it's more nature and like
Mm-hmm.
rocks and dirt, which is like what
Yeah.
Jurassic Park should be. But so it matches the theme. But then like if you don't really know the movies and you don't really know what you're looking for, it's just like, oh yeah, it's just rocks and dirt and trees. Like that's just natural. That's just it was just here. They didn't even add that.
It's like Rainforest Cafe with dinosaurs, right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. What as you guys are talking about the Velocicoaster, I think a lot of the Jurassic Park theming and a lot of the in Universal Studios are like attached to really fast rides. I think, right?
Hmm.
Because in Japan there was the I forgot what it's called, the flying dinosaur. I forgot the exact name, but that was a really fast ride and also
Mhm.
like a phenomenal ride as well in Japan. It was like I think similar to it's basically you're lying down and you're going fast. It's like
Wow.
for some of our Canadian I guess viewers is or watchers or listeners. But like basically it's like the time warp or Tomb Raider from
Right. Right.
Candace
Right.
Wonderland, even though that's gone now.
I was
But
gonna say they're closing it, like we don't even get to ride it again.
yeah, I didn't really like that one
Oh,
because
I did
I don't
like
know,
that one.
because your body would hurt afterwards. But yeah, so it's like I think it's equated. And for the queue in Japan, it was really cool because you kind of go through the whole like um I think it was John Hammond's like whole hotel almost
Hmm.
like
Oh.
yeah. So it's really cool. You go through that, and there's like I love how for a lot of these rides, there's like a little bit of a like museum aspect. You see certain things and stuff. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I liked the movie. You're talking about Hammond.
Mhm.
Like I love the whole like
You
the
spared no expenses.
adventure. Yeah, I love the whole like adventure,
Mm.
like Indiana Jones type feel that you would get to the movie, um, with the doctor. What's his name? Professor. Gosh, I can't remember, but the main professor from the original
Hmm.
Jurassic Park, and then even with like Chris Pratt kind of being like the raptor
They're
trainer.
rebooting it again.
I
Are
know.
you
I saw that.
serious?
Yeah, they are. They're
Yeah.
rebooting it with an actor actually that's like hot right now. He's the actor in that show. Not Downton Abbey, the one with the oh gosh, what's it called?
Bridgerton?
Bridgerton.
Wait, who is it?
The like the
Red.
oldest brother.
The
What's
Duke, the not Duke, but
Yeah.
the oldest brother.
Oh, I think I did see something about it. Oh my gosh.
What's
I
his
love
name?
him.
What's his name?
Oh, I mean, I know his name from Bridgerton.
Wife say what? No, I'm just joking. No, yeah. So he's like the leading actor. and
Jonathan
then-
Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
He's
mhm.
like he did Wicked. He's doing like he's doing
He's
a
doing
lot
a
of stuff.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's also the leading actress is also someone really well known. Gosh,
I'm just
I
gonna
can't remember it.
get the whole list of actors
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Just pull it up. It's gonna be a stellar cast. I can't believe they're doing it again. But to be
Scarlett
honest,
Johansson.
yeah, Scarlett. There we
Oh.
go. Yeah, I couldn't remember Scarlett.
You
But
can't
but
remember Scar-
hey man, names. But like it's going like for the way I see it, like why are you doing it again?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you did World, and in my opinion, that was great. So like, I'm kind of trusting them to do it again and somehow make it good.
But it's so new. Like I don't see like okay. I have never watched them, so I maybe my opinion is not super valid here. But my question is just like, why reboot it? Like you want to use Jonathan Bailey for something, use him for other things. Like they literally have him in Wicked and just.
So I was
use
like,
him-
I'm not gonna watch it.
Why
you put it?
I don't understand.
well, now this gives you, for example, a viewer that
I
would
like
never.
Chris Pratt. I wouldn't
Oh.
watch Jurassic World either.
Fair. Okay.
Mm.
It's just not like content I want to
Universal, are you listening?
Well,
I think
okay.
they're going the because they're making him like a more of a professor slash
Professor Set.
you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
versus Chris Pratt, who's the macho guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he
Totally
could
different
pull
route.
that. He could pull the professor thing off
Mm-hmm.
probably.
But
Yeah,
Jurassic
I
Park
think,
is a great IP. I know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're some
Wait.
of the biggest, most popular movies. Everybody loves them. It's
Yeah,
just not
all
the big-
time.
Here's a question.
All times.
Sorry, here's a question for you guys. Would you, like for that part of the park, would you bring your kids there?
Yeah. Would we bring our kids? Absolutely.
Depends what age. Like
Mhm.
right now, I don't know if it's a good idea because
No.
they get scared of things like
Mhm.
that.
Well, they
Eric,
have Camp Cretaceous, based off that like Netflix series. That's like they have like a little bit of stuff there for it's like geared towards kids, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. When you walk through the land, there's nothing really scary. There is the
Mhm.
one like
big dinosaur.
there's the one dinosaur like meet and greet, but you can avoid it. Like we avoided it.
No,
We
no.
didn't like even see it.
Beside the meet and greet, there's the big truck with the raptors,
I mean, we took our kids to Fantasy Fair and like
and they were scared of
they
those
were
dinosaurs.
fine. Okay, so Arabella's at the age where she would be fine. I
Our
think she
oldest.
would. I think she would be fine.
Yeah, our
and
oldest,
Lucas
yeah.
likes dinosaurs, so I think it's really hit or miss with him because sometimes he likes something, but then when it's like in real life, he's like, oh, that's kind of scary. But
Well, it's
he,
too big kind of thing, right?
yeah, but he has also done really well with characters, so I think he might be okay.
That's our youngest.
Mila, the middle one, she is a little bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to some of these things. So she's scared of creatures. She's scared of like certain animals. She's scared of characters. She will not go meet what she calls stuffy characters.
Mhm.
She goes, oh, the stuffy characters with the man inside. Like she won't go meet those characters. She'll only meet like the face characters, like the princesses and princes and things like that. So I think she would be scared. But like the land itself, I don't think is bad. They obviously can't ride the ride or like the Velocicoaster specifically because it is a bigger ride. I actually don't know. We didn't ride the water ride. They have a water ride there,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park River Adventure.
I don't want to get wet, so we didn't do that.
Yeah, we
one,
didn't want to
but-
get wet. It was like a little bit chilly on the days that we were there, so we didn't do it. But I don't know if they would be tall enough to ride that.
It's a good question.
I'm gonna look it up.
You know something I didn't know about Universal IP? I didn't know Dr. Seuss was Universal. I didn't know it was owned by NBC, but
42-inch height restriction, so only Arabella could ride it.
so when we went, I was shocked to see Dr. Seuss all over the place. I grew up, green eggs and ham. I grew up on that stuff, but like, I don't know. I was like, this kind of seems like a little bit old and outdated, and like you did this 30 something years ago, and did not keep it up.
Do kids even read Dr. Seuss anymore?
Yeah, some do for sure. But like the land was like if you're talking about 30 years ago, oh, top notch. I don't know when they made it, but if they made Universal Orlando 30 years ago in the Dr. Seuss land or whatever it's called, man, top notch, because like they went all out from the restaurants to the creative art on the side to like the trash bins to like the railings. It's like all like Dr. Seuss out. It's like you're entering a Dr. Seuss book.
Even the trees, like the trees are all curvy and
Yeah.
like they look crazy.
Yeah.
And it's because they like planted these trees that were like damaged by like lightning or something, and they replanted them in Dr. Seuss land because it like adds to the illusion. Like there's apparently no straight lines there. Everything is done in curves and like weird like rounded edges and stuff. So it
It looks
looks
so cool.
yeah, it
Right now.
looks
I'm just looking at
really
photos right
cool.
now.
We didn't ride anything there. We just walked around and we like enjoyed the vibes because we went right before Christmas, and so they started to put up Christmas decor everywhere, but that was the most decorated land
It was
right off the
beautiful
bat.
with the Christmas
Yeah.
decoration. It really matched the theming because it's super,
Colorful and
neon
bright.
colored,
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah.
That's what it was given. So.
And they lean into like the Grinch for
Ooh. I
Christmas.
heard the meet and greets are amazing for the Grinch.
Yeah, I know, and the
Really?
lines are so long. We were looking at the lines. I'm like, oh, that would be kind of cool. Let's go meet the Grinch. And then like the line was like 3 hours long. I'm like, nope, I'm not wasting 3 hours of my day here.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Is that longer than some of the Disney princesses as well?
That,
yeah,
for sure.
it is longer.
100%.
It is longer because like it's a limited time, right? Like they don't have him year round. It's just during the holidays.
Oh,
So
wow.
it is like a very niche thing that like you're only getting it for a limited time. So people are going out of their way to like wait and line up. But he like apparently his meet and greets are really funny too because they're really like he's very sassy and he just kind of like poses funny
Yeah, I've
and
seen
he
some
like
videos.
picks on people. Like it's apparently really fun. And you can also meet his dog during
Oh, that's
Shout
during
out to
like
Max.
special like Christmas events, like how they do like Christmas parties and stuff. You couldn't meet his dog, and he has the antlers on and everything.
So Grinch is Universal property too?
Yeah,
NBC?
Well, because he's Dr. Seuss.
The Grinch is Dr. Seuss?
Yeah.
Bro, I
you
did
didn't
not
notice
know
that they
that.
all look the same and they all the story sounds the same and all rhymes.
Bro,
It was
my
literally
brain right now.
It
Ruben.
was in Seuss Land, or Seuss Landing, whatever it's called.
What? I didn't.
We should totally, if you're on your phone, zoom into Ruben's face the moment he learned that. just now.
I did not know that. That's
Connections being
wow.
made, like lightning.
He learns
Light
something
bulbs
new
going
every
off.
day.
Yo, that's great. Sorry, that's news to me. Wow.
Okay, so I want to say,
I like Universal property even more now. Wow.
yeah, I want to say one thing we did do in Seuss Landing that was really, really fun was we had some of the food.
Ooh.
Because they have green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
You have to.
So we
You
got
have
green
to.
eggs and ham. There was something else that we got. It was green eggs and ham, and they had something else. I can't
Roast
remember.
beast
It
or
was
something.
like
No?
it was like little hash brown things.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, I don't know.
But it came in like a can. It was so cute. It was so cute, and it tasted really good. It was one of
Yeah.
the better things that we ate. Like, all the Universal food was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it was one of the better things that we ate, and we like really enjoyed it. And I'm like, this is so cute that it like matches the theme.
That's the one thing I will say about Universal is that the food that I had, in my opinion, was better than anything that I had at Disney World. Like overall, I would say Universal's food kind of like edged Disney World. Like if I were just kind of like doing an average based on like where you're eating, and it makes sense because they're also like they're advertising to an older audience, and
Yeah.
so I'm just seeing that they maintain that throughout all their parks. Food is like a priority for them.
Yeah.
And so like food was definitely good. But like talking about Dr. Seuss Land, or what's it called? Seuss Landing?
Seuss Landing.
Yeah, talking about Seuss Landing for like like just to kind of close it off there. It's more kiddie rides throughout the entire place. So like we were like, we're not gonna ride these. We're gonna let other kids, go ahead and enjoy it. We went in early and we're just like, let's just go grab a meal at Seuss Landing because they have green eggs and ham.
Yeah,
and
like
we want to try it.
who didn't grow up like reading that book, right? Like I grew up hearing it, and I have certain parts memorized because I just like heard it so many times. When I used to teach it to like my kids, and like now my kids watch it. So like, fun fact, when Arabella was little, like in her kindergarten class, they had like a dress up as your favorite character day, like favorite book character specifically. So she dressed up as the Cat in the Hat. And like she had this
That's
cute,
so cute.
such a cute little outfit, but she literally like perfect Cat in the Hat costume. And so she loves the Cat in the Hat. So she saw a video one time of like of Seuss Landing, and she's like, "Oh, there's a Cat in the Hat ride. I want to go on that. Can we go on that?" So definitely when we go back and we bring the kids, like we will be doing some of the Seuss Landing attractions because like they would love it.
Guys, I just Cat in the Hat is Universal.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Cat in the Hat. Okay.
There's no doubt
Cat in
about
the
that.
Hat,
Yeah, that makes
Cat in
sense.
the Hat, one fish,
Oh
two
my
fish,
God.
red fish,
No,
blue
I know
fish,
one fish.
thing one and
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
two.
They
Like,
also
all-
have that Universal. Thing one, thing two,
Yeah,
obviously.
Like Horton Hears a Who. All of those are Horton Hears a Who.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
But, bro, that's true. And they all also in the movie,
Oh
they
my-
all look like that with the noses.
Yeah.
How did I not put? Wow. Wow. Sorry, guys. This episode's called Ruben Learns Things. Wow.
We should have
I
a
did
special
not-
segment.
See, I knew I loved Universal IP just slightly more than Disney, but like this is pushing that over the top. Like it's insane. Like they're mostly neck and neck for me, but like, bro, this is
They're so funny.
Cat in the Hat, The Grinch. Actually, gonna tell me Harry Potter's actually Universal. No, it's
Okay.
not actually, but
Can I say one last comment about the food? Not at Seuss Landing, just generally food at Universal. One of the things I love about the food at Universal is it's all themed. It's like you don't just get like a burger, you don't just get a hot dog. Like we went to, and like this is one of my favorite IPs, we can jump right into it right after, but we went to like DreamWorks Land, and we went to like the Shrek, like there's like a meet and greet there.
Yeah.
And we got the Shrekzel, which was like literally a pretzel that looked like Shrek's face. And then the nacho cheese that came with it, which was like good nacho cheese too, was green. Because it's like Shrek.
Yeah.
And they like the donkey's famous line, like, and in the morning I'm making waffles. They have a donkey waffle that they sell. So they have like, they're very themed, and I love that. I love that I went and I ate a pretzel that looked like Shrek's face. And it tasted good.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a dry pretzel. It was a delicious,
the pretzel was actually
buttery pretzel.
Yeah. The cheese just kind of felt like...
That sounds amazing.
The cheese was whatever. It's just colored, nacho cheese. That was colored green.
Yeah,
but you're in DreamWorks land. You're seeing, Shrek or not Shrek. You were seeing like across from there. You're seeing Donkey doing like meet and greets where you can go and see him.
No, Shrek and Fiona were there too.
Were they there?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember Donkey.
You remember Donkey? Donkey stands out because so the whole thing is at the swamp. So you see the cottage at the swamp, and Donkey is very like iconic, and you really like pay attention to him because he's not a real character. Like, he's not somebody in a costume.
Oh, he sits there and you talk to him and he like talks back.
Yeah, exactly. So like Shrek and Fiona were there, but people were really like engaging with Donkey because it was cool to see this, like, I don't know what it is, like almost like an animatronic or whatever, that was like responding and communicating with you and like having a conversation. So it was really, really cool. It was like when we went to Galaxy's Edge.
You have this
and
guy just on a mic in the back.
Yeah. But it was like when we went to Galaxy's Edge and we saw BB-8, and like BB-8 was responding to us, and then when we took a picture, we were like, say cheese, and BB-8 was like, cheese. But like it was Donkey, and he was having much more conversation, and it was really funny and cute.
Yeah. So like Shrek is a great IP. Shrek, in my opinion, like they, excuse me, Universal is not capitalizing on some of the stories with the princesses in the story of Shrek.
Bro.
What?
Okay. So in Singapore, they actually have a whole like land in Universal. It's like I forgot the name. Is it Far Far Away, or they're the whole version of the whole thing is like that.
That's so
like their
cool.
the version of Hollywood or
Really?
something, right?
Wow.
And you go there and everything. It's like that's someplace that's like I saw that and I'm like I want to visit because
That looks
I don't know.
cool. Yeah.
They have a new movie coming out too. I'm worried, but I'm also excited a little bit.
I was bored by Shrek 5, to be honest.
I haven't watched. I think I watched Shrek 3. That was the last one. I haven't watched 4. I haven't watched Puss in Boots. I haven't watched any of those.
Yeah.
I didn't love like 2, so I was like after 1 I was done. But like I love 1 enough that I'll like just keep watching it. Like I grew up on that movie to the point that like I have it memorized. I have like the the Welcome to Dulot. Welcome to Dulot.
Yeah.
The perfect place.
Yeah.
Shine your face. Yeah.
I love that. So they used to have, and this is something that I actually miss at Universal in Florida. So I remember the first time I went to, when we used to go as kids, they used to have like a Shrek. It was a show, like a 3D show, or like a 4D show, where it was like the things were coming at you like 3D and whatever, but then you'd feel some things like water or like air or like the chair moving a little bit, that kind of thing. So they used to have that, and it was about like it was like Lord Farquaad's ghost comes back to try to kidnap Fiona, and like Shrek and Donkey and the dragon go off to like save her, and it's a whole big thing. And it was a little bit spooky for kids because of the like ghost thing, and they're riding through like a graveyard at some points. A little bit spooky, but like really, really good, and like it was at least something. And the pre-show was so fun because you would stand there and you would see like Pinocchio and like the 3 little pigs and Gingy, the gingerbread man, and like they would all like they would be talking to each other because they were trapped because Lord Farquaad got them, and they were trapped and they were trying to get out, and like Pinocchio's nose would grow. So it was really cute and fun. I remember when we went to Universal Hollywood, we went to the same theater, and it was a similar setting and similar experience, but it was Kung Fu Panda. But then they completely shut that down in Orlando. I think it's the same building that they turned into Villain Con for Despicable Me.
Oh.
So I think it was the same building, but like regardless, it was such a fun experience. So I'm sad that they took away some Shrek IP. Like I'm glad at least they brought some of it back, but I'm sad that they took that away because it was really cool for like Shrek fans.
Yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say earlier is that I just feel like Universal, like NBC, creatives, if you're watching, there's something missing in capitalizing, and I guess in Singapore they're making use of it, but like here in the States, here in North America, you're not, where there are so many stories to be told of all the princesses, especially when you hit, I think it's Shrek 3. I don't think it's 2. Maybe it's 2. I don't remember. But you have all of these different princesses that you could branch out and tell their own little unique stories.
Which princesses?
I don't know if it's Shrek 2 or Shrek 3, where she has a bunch of princesses come over.
But those are the Disney princesses. They can't
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
Those are
like
Disney
a parody.
princesses?
Yeah, they're it's like Cinderella and Snow White and like
No, but they didn't say that.
No, but they're wearing the same outfits, they're talking about the same things, like they have the same storylines. I think they do say names, but if they don't, you can still tell. You can look at them and tell.
Damn.
I can't right now, Ruben.
Damn.
Do you not know? Shrek originally started as a parody of Disney.
Yeah.
I did not know that. What do you mean Shrek started as a Disney parody?
Like for them to have like a princess story and like, oh, she like
turns into ogre instead,
yeah.
And when they're in the swamp, all the characters are Disney characters, bro.
Like Pinocchio. Pinocchio's originally a Disney character. Think about at Walt Disney World, there's nothing really, but you have Pinocchio Village House, which is a restaurant. But there's a Pinocchio ride and a Pinocchio movie. But Pinocchio's in the.
So how do they get the rights to do that?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Well, I think they because you have the Disney versions and then you have the originals, like old fairy tales. I think there's a way around that.
Like the Grimm brothers and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why DreamWorks was able, not DreamWorks, Netflix was able to do a Pinocchio, but it's based off the older tale, not the Disney version.
Yeah.
See, then why don't they use those?
But it doesn't make sense. They're going into Disney territory and people could attribute it to Disney and they're not gonna get the same credit. They lose.
But that's hilarious. Ruben had no idea. Everyone, you heard it here. You had no idea those were Disney princesses.
I did not.
There.
I did not. No, it's fair. I did not. But bro, the way I see it is they need to come up with their own princesses.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
Fiona is their princess. They can do a lot more. They can do a lot more with Shrek regardless. There's a lot they can do. But I think that it's just something that hasn't been a priority in the American parks because in the American parks, they have geared it, like I said, more towards adults. I think they're really winning in that area because a lot of adults, like people that we know, would say, oh yeah, I don't really want to go to Disney. There's something there that I would really like, but I'd go to Universal or oh, I like the Universal movie. So I think they're really winning in that category. And it's right now when you have kids, we said, we didn't want to take our kids to Universal because I'm there's not much for them to do there. They could do this Dr. Seuss stuff and then they could do some of the DreamWorks stuff, but there's nothing really much they can do. So when you have kids,
which is interesting because they have so many IPs that are actually geared towards kids.
Yeah, they do absolutely.
They have Trolls. They have Trolls is a big one actually. I realized.
Yeah, but they don't have much for Trolls. They have meet and greet. They have a little play area. They have a small little roller coaster. It's not a lot because it's all within one land within DreamWorks Land. DreamWorks Land has Trolls, Shrek,
Kung Fu Panda,
and they had a Gabby's Dollhouse meet and greet, which we did not tell our kids existed because they really love Gabby's Dollhouse. Yeah. So they don't know about that one. But that's about it. There's not that much more in that land.
But with Epic Universe opening soon, there is a lot more coming for kids, shows, things like that, smaller rides for kiddos. So they are making sure that they open their horizons to it. Just the last thought on Disney and Universal here, I think it's actually genius what Disney does. Because when kids have to come to a park, they're going to bring their parents, and parents have to pay full admission. When parents want to go to a park, they don't bring their kids. And the person that gets more money is Disney. And so it's smarter, but I think Universal's realizing they need to also gear something to kids.
Yeah.
But again,
it's DreamWorks Land is very new. They just opened it.
Yeah.
So they are starting to really develop in that area.
So the thing that kind of so I know we're kind of jumping all over the place here with Universal IPs, but I mean that's the video, so you're in it at this point. If you're still listening with us, you're in it. Like the thing that I don't get, but I guess I kind of get, but I still don't get, is like why Harry Potter, why like Mario, like those are like Warner Brother IP. It's a total different company, and it's kind of off-putting to be like. And here's the crazy part, okay? For all of our listeners, all 2 of our listeners or whoever's listening, Harry
15, 14,
Potter,
you know?
Harry Potter world, all of the different lands that they have are the best themed places I have ever been to, period.
Yeah.
Without, and this is not just me who as a kid loved Harry Potter and growing up as an adult also still loves Harry Potter, but it's just totally unbiased, like scientifically, like just like
The people have spoken.
the people have spoken, and I am their spokesperson. No, just purely from the food, from the animations, from the graphics, to the experiences, to the rides, to the
Immersion.
to the immersion with the cast members. The moment you walk into Hogwarts, the moment you walk into Diagon
Hogsmeade.
Alley, the moment you
Hogsmeade, but we also
Hogsmeade.
you can go into Hogwarts too.
Yeah, go into Hogwarts as well. And I believe the moment you're gonna, we've never been because it's not open yet to the public. But the moment you walk into the Ministry of Magic, it's gonna be the same. Like I remember walking into Gringotts and going, "This is." Did they
it's got
shoot?
chills.
Yeah,
Did they
yeah.
shoot the movie here? Like, is this where Daniel Radcliffe was? Here pretending to be under the invisible little blanket.
Yeah.
So like that is how amazing it is, and yet it's a little bit off-putting for me because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. This is Warner Brothers. Why are you investing? Again, maybe I just don't know something, but why is Universal investing so much money into a Warner Brothers IP to include in their parks? And now in their new park, they've invested so much more. Yeah, there's some sort of some sort of partnership they have
They have
there,
the
probably,
licensing.
right? Yeah,
They bought the licensing for the
makes
the
sense.
theme
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah.
But like, you can't. I don't think you can compare like Harry. Okay, so we all agreed we were going to talk about Harry Potter World a little bit. Like,
Separate video, another
It's-
time.
yeah.
It deserves its own series.
But what I want to say is you can't compare it to any of the other IP that Universal Parks include because it is an entire series and it's books and it's descriptive and they created this whole world that is so intense and detailed and unique, and that's not how the other IPs are. Like we can talk about this one, for example. Like the Fast and the Furious and like all of
That's a series. That's
Yeah,
an
but-
even bigger
but
series
it's-
than Harry
but
Potter.
But it's humans and but it's humans and cars in a normal human world. It's not, you're not creating different creatures and different lands and different like whatever. It's literally, it's like,
Though I feel like with the new movies coming out, the more that come out, the crazier it gets. We're not that far off from creatures. I mean, they literally went to space. Okay, like
It's true.
okay, if you
and they flew into the Burj
It
Khalifa.
went from
like,
reality to fantasy just right there. Yeah.
pretty much.
if you ride the ride,
Mhm.
you would feel the same way. Like the ride.
So bad.
Okay, I love these movies, by the way. Love these movies.
I love the earlier ones.
The earlier ones, yeah.
Probably it
I stopped
at
at 7 because after 7 I was like, I
once
don't know
Paul
if I can continue
Walker
watching.
passed away, it kind of
I
went
couldn't.
downhill from there.
Yeah. And I don't think I've never watched like Hobbs and Shaw. Like I just got to
That was
like,
all right. It was all right.
Yeah. But I do love those movies, like the original few that were in the series. But like that was a weird ride. It was weird. Like from the I don't even know where to go here. From the queue, like you go in and it's literally just like a weird garage. It's just like tires and fences and whatever everywhere and like papers everywhere and like beers.
They're planning
open.
the heist, you know?
Yeah, but it's like
Nope.
the queue was weird. The go ahead.
I was just gonna say the entire time I rode the Fast and Furious ride at Universal, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, I can't tell you the storyline. I can't.
So what are we doing here? We don't know, but we're at a party. Okay, we're at a party. Okay, cool. Now what?
Yes.
Now we're chasing something. Okay, well, but and then I can't even see because I'm on the other side of the bus. Oh, okay. And then that's it. You did it. Yay. Okay.
hold on,
Thank
because
you.
I have so many thoughts about this ride.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So, first of all, the only good part of this whole experience is the pre-shows. There's like 2 little pre-show moments, and that's the only good part. And it's only because of the cast members, like, or the team members acting.
100%.
The team members were so engaging, so it made it interesting and funny, and they kept cracking jokes. But like, if you had a team member who wasn't super into it, which sometimes you can get, then that would completely fall flat, and it wouldn't be that good. So that's the first thing. Also, super weird because they bring Ludacris up on the screen because he's like having all these like moments, like talking, like he's calling, like video calling, and they're talking to him. But like, it's funny because he's also, it's like this meta moment where he's quoting his songs, like his song lyrics in the pre-show. I can't even remember what he said right now, but like I remember because I was a big Ludacris fan. I remember like hearing certain things. I'm like, oh my gosh, is he quoting himself? Like, that's ridiculous. But then they tell you this whole thing about how you're going on this bus, and it's like a secret mission, and you get on the bus.
You're on a bus,
yeah,
not a race.
You're on a bus. The whole ride vehicle is this big bus. It's like seats, like these big benches that are like maybe 8 people across, like 6 to 8 people across, and it's only good if you're on one specific side of the bus. If you are in the middle of the bus or the other side of the bus, which we happen to be on, you don't see what's happening on the right side of the bus, which is where...
sucks.
Which, by the way, is a hack. If you are going to go on that ride, sit to the right side. That's
Yeah.
the hack. Sit all the way to the far right so you can see what's happening.
Yeah. It's just screens.
Interesting.
It's just screens like projecting things and like showing you stuff. And you're just moving slowly and there's not much happening. And then it's this weird like party and then a car chase and then another party. So all these weird parties, and the parties are like everybody's dressed in like 90s like clubbing outfits.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay.
but why are you in like the late 90s, early 2000s? Like, why? This is
So
a
it's
pretty,
very dated kind of thing, right?
but it's a
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
modern ride. Like, I don't know why it's so it's such a weird ride. I don't understand anything.
It's like when Disney made Hollywood Studios and they were making it like diner view, but they made it like years later. Like they went for that, and I don't know why, but they did. But yeah, no, the talking about lame bus rides. The other one that goes along with it, in my opinion, is King Kong.
Absolutely.
Is the King Kong ride. It's like, it's a little bit more engaging if you're into that movie because the screens are bigger and they do spread out the interaction left and right. So it's not as bad.
Mostly right, but
it is
a little
more
bit
right,
left.
but definitely more than Fast and Furious. And so, again, another great IP. I think, like, again, speaking as a guy who enjoys that genre of like, you know, excitement and whatever, like I think that those movies are great, and I think that a ride like that could be so much more exciting in my opinion. But in all honesty, it is a bit of a lame bus ride. They kind of take you around. You're seeing this fight, you know, between, you know, this ape and I believe a dinosaur, right?
Oh, was it dinosaurs? Yeah, I think you're right.
And so they fight a little bit, and then the one cool part is at the end you're seeing this massive, gigantic, like, you know, gorilla face that is a real like animatronic, I guess, that you see. That's very scary. But other than that, like, again, it's another, like, unfortunately, you know, great IP, lame ride. Like that's what I'm seeing.
I was looking forward to some of these next time we went.
There's still lots of good stuff. There's
and
still so much.
the
good
bottom
The way
line,
Duarte said it. Don't worry. There's good stuff. I swear.
The bottom line is you have to do all of them once. You have to, because it's part of the experience of, you can say that you've done it and then you know what it's like. So I was I had seen some videos from before of what these were going into them, and I knew that, and I went on them, and it was nice to be able to ride them, but I'm like, it's not something that I'm like looking forward to. There are other things I look forward to at Universal, but like doing that Fast and Furious ride, I could never go on that ride again, and I will be a happy camper.
But like, if it doesn't have a long line and we're not doing anything, I would ride it again.
Is there AC
Yes.
in the ride?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it's worth a ride. Okay, what's one of your favorites, Ambrose?
For IPs, I think
Yeah.
another one would be really cool is that this is like a much older one. I think Jaws was a really cool IP.
Yeah.
The movies. I'm not sure if you watched it, Dora. Probably not. Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
I have.
I did ride the OG Jaws ride that they had in Florida. I was horrified as a child. But I did ride it.
Do they have anything about Jaws out in Japan?
I was just about to say, Japan has the last existing Jaws ride.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's kind of like I guess you can say it's similar to Jungle Cruise a little bit,
Oh
right?
yeah, okay.
But then the only thing is it's like more scary. There's moments where things blow up, and then the skipper has like a gun instead. Not skipper, but the driver has a gun, and the he
Yeah.
shoots stuff, blows up, and then the huge Jaws Bruce the shark comes out, and then like
right,
yeah,
right,
it's,
right.
it's
For
I
any
purposely go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was like, I purposely, when we went there, I was like, I need to go on the ride. It's the last existing one.
Yeah.
I also really wanted to get a coin purse that it was like specifically Bruce the Shark. And
Oh,
you put
cool.
more coins and it gets fatter and fatter.
Do you have
That's
it?
so
Do you have it? Can you
funny.
show us?
No, it's sold out and there's no more. I can't find it. I was so sad, dude. It would have been amazing.
That's so
it's chunky
cute,
shark.
though.
I was gonna say for our listeners who don't know, Jungle Cruise is the Disney boat ride that the movie then was made after. So that's cool that they did a Jaws kind of like a little slow boat ride, but then they
Yeah.
have some effects going on. See, that's cool. That's something that I think would be more entertaining than these bus rides.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. Is like you said skipper, right? Like you said, oh yeah, and then the skipper has a gun, and it's because it brings you to that that Jungle Cruise vibe where it's like a slow boat on a track, and like the skipper is what has to make it engaging. Like the driver of the boat has to be like excited and like acting really well and like shoot at the right time so that the like shots go off the right time, like all of that.
Yeah.
Again, as a kid, horrified. They don't have that ride anymore in like Orlando. They just have Bruce the Shark like just hanging there beside this like one little.
I think you'd still see him in the studio tour if you go on that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But they have him hanging in in the park. Out in like beside a restaurant like by the water.
Oh cool.
But it was closed for Harry Potter World for Diagon Alley. So I'm like, I'm not sad about it.
Diagonale.
Yeah, I think that's a great IP, and it's like it's really fun. I don't think it's gonna be really like added on, and a lot of places gonna have it because it's a really old IP.
Low key.
And it's all.
I was gonna say low key. That's one that they should reboot. I think there's an audience for that. I think that if they rebooted it, it would.
I don't know, bro. I feel that they're gonna be too like
Think
CGI heavy. Like,
Think
look,
of-
there's the Meg that came out.
I was just about to say,
recent-
think about the Meg.
but it's so CGI though.
But people
I don't
love
know.
it. But people love it.
I mean, there's because we're thinking of Universal IPs. A lot of the really old school ones. You have like Back to the Future. You have ET.
I love
right?
Back to the
Yeah.
Future.
Back to the Future is a good one.
Why do they not have more rides and stuff for Back to the Future? Is it just because it's too
so
old?
It's
That makes me so
old.
sad. Well, it doesn't make
I
it.
think they used to have a ride, but they replaced it with something.
Jaws is
It was.
older than Back to the Future.
That's why they replaced it.
I don't know if they have a ride. Like they definitely don't have a ride now. I don't know if they did before. They definitely don't have one now. But they
Dr.
do have.
Seuss is older than.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
something
but
called
Dr.
Back to the
Seuss
Future
is
ride. It's
kid-friendly.
replaced by. Let me just quickly see. I don't know. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What?
It's replaced by. What was it? Indicator replaced by track base. I think it might have been replaced by either the Simpsons ride. Yeah, it was replaced by the
Bro.
Simpsons ride.
Don't get me started about the Simpsons.
Okay, hold
ride.
on. We'll go there.
Bro.
We'll go there. But like Back to the Future and Jaws, some of these older ones, right? They don't have a lot of representation in terms of like rides and attractions.
But merch.
But they do have merch. Absolutely, they have merch. They also have like they do a Universal parade, like the mega movie parade or whatever, and like they have floats in the parade. They also have because they have like a nighttime spectacular, which we were so upset because they closes down for a part of the year and it was gonna reopen like 3 days after we left, so we missed it. We're always there before things happen. So we missed it, but during that like nighttime spectacular, they do have like a Jaws scene and a Back to the Future scene and like all that kind of stuff. So you do get a little bit of that for people who are fans.
I don't want a float in a parade. I want you to put me in the DeLorean, and I want you to take me back to the future. I want you to start.
I want lightning to strike.
I want you to start. Yeah, I want you to start me right outside the clock house. I want you to go. All right, Marty, we're gonna have to go.
But bro, you can go actually to the place where they filmed it though. If you take that like
that's
2-hour tram tour, you can go right to that
That's
square and you
cool.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
see,
be
I
a
would,
cool thing to
I
do.
would do that. That's cool. But like, NBC, Universal, listen. Let me pitch you an idea.
You're like, I don't even know who's in charge. Whoever's in charge.
Whoever
listen.
in charge, whoever needs to hear this, YouTube, run the algorithm, listen. In my opinion, there is a market for people who are my age group, who in my age bracket, who would love to ride an actual ride like that where you get into the DeLorean. It's some sort of like a fast ride. Don't give me these like slow bus rides. And
Imagine
make
the
it
DeLorean,
exciting.
it's just like a
Yeah.
the whole time just like really upset.
I just think it would be really exciting. And again, IMO, in my opinion, I think there's a reboot that can totally be done, especially with our new technology and lots of these things. A Back to the Future, like almost any like fantasy genre is working with some sort of time travel these days.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I don't. They already have the title. They have a crowd that would easily go, like any reboots. You know, there's always a question mark. But I'm like, if you do it well,
Seriously, cast Jonathan Bailey in that. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't think he has a young enough face. You know who does? Who would do a great job? I think Tom Holland. I think he would
Or-
be the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
Marty.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Michael J. Fox for me is iconic, dude.
Yeah.
I'm worried that like I don't know if
But Tom Holland
anyone
has
could
the
do it.
face. He has the face.
He
Think
does
about
have the face, and he's also like humorous and kind of like dorky the way Michael J.
Goofy.
Fox
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
and make Zendaya the girl. Come on now. Although I heard that they're gonna take a break from acting in a few years after he's done Spider-Man 4 and she's done with the next Dune movie.
I mean, whatever.
Apparently they're like gonna get married and start having kids, and they're gonna take a break from movies, which I respect, by the way. I respect that.
Yeah.
What other really old IPs? Oh, there's Waterworld. They have that show, I think, right?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what
What's
that
that?
You've never seen? Okay,
What's
all right,
is that? A
maybe
movie?
But there was a big movie by Kevin Costner called Waterworld.
Okay.
It was a huge flop in the theaters. However, they have this like live action show in a lot of the Universal Studios, like Universal Studios, Hollywood, Japan, Singapore. They have this really live action show where you come in. There's like guns and everything. It's a full show.
Oh,
You guys haven't heard of that?
no,
No.
never.
Next time, if we go together,
Well,
we're
you said
going,
it was
okay?
a flop, so.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of shows, though, because this one is cool. Born Stuntacular.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of like
Stunts, action.
and the Bourne movies, if you like the Bourne movies, the only thing that was like not cool about it was like the pre-show was insanely long and really boring because they felt the need to explain like all of the movies in a row.
Well, no, I think.
And you don't need to know the movies to know the show.
No, they were having a technical difficulty that day.
No, we waited for a long time, yes, but
Yeah.
the actual pre-show was also really long.
It was because they had to keep replaying it.
No, I'm telling you, what we watched from start to finish was just long.
Was it three
Just
times
the
in
one
a row?
time. Oh yeah,
each
they played it
movie?
multiple times, and I'm saying maybe that had a factor of it. But they did just it was they could. There's a way they could make it more engaging, but in my opinion, that's the definition of using technology and making it seem like very futuristic, which is what I think they did a great job in. Massive, almost like warehouse type situation, except it's like a high tech place. They just kind of like move people in to kind of like fill up the next show, and then they open the doors, and then you kind of sit, and then like to kind of define it real quick, or describe it real quick. It's an individual. It's Jason Bourne, or behind the scenes, it's a stunt guy doing actual stunts and actual fighting with people, and also with a screen behind him. And there's a whole like underground like stage situation where people are popping up and popping and going back down. It is very
and people flying over your head and like swinging
That's
like
really cool.
in the air. And there's there's cars going and there's buildings moving around. Like it is the Indiana Jones um, show
There.
walked so that the Born Stuntacular could run. You know, like this
True,
was
true.
really it was like if you amped up all of the tech and like the effects on like the Indiana Jones show, that's what you get. You get the Stuntacular. It was
kind of
really,
excited
really
for this.
cool.
The coordination of this is absolutely insane. When somebody has to jump out of a 3-story high building to land in a pool, to bust through a door, to slide down certain areas, to time it with graphic fighters who are on screen, and you know it's on screen, but somehow this one stunt guy is working with all of them. It's like it's pretty cool how they immersed like every layer that they could, from screen to real life to like underground, like under the stage of like, you know, using all of a sudden you see nothing, the stage is empty, and 2 seconds later a car appears and you're like, where did that come from? Like, how did you do that? You know, the show's cool. It
was really, really cool. The combination of everything they used was really cool. I will say, I think this is a show where it matters where you sit. I think based on where you sit, you get a better like full experience, because where we were sitting, there were some of the things that were like more behind the scenes that I could see. So like we were kind of close and off to the side, and because we were close, I could see like there's a special effect that I'd heard about where like somebody from the screen hands somebody in real life a knife and it becomes a real knife.
Oh, okay.
If you watch it from further away, you can't tell how that happens. But because I was sitting a little bit closer, I'm like, oh, I saw exactly how that happened. Or like there's a scene where he's like swinging down, and I like obviously we know behind the scenes that there's somebody up there who's helping him, but I saw the person who was up there helping him. So like because of where we were sitting, I think it was a little bit more like visually the effects were not 100%, but I can also see how like if I was sitting more central, it would have been perfect.
Interesting. So you seems like the food and the shows are pretty top tier compared to like Disney a little bit.
I mean you can't compare to like some of the Disney shows are amazing.
For sure. Well, it's stunt and like action wise.
Yeah. But the food is definitely like up there.
Wait till you guys go to like Asia, dude. The food in Japan, Disney is phenomenal. Okay.
Really?
I mean, the
it was
food in
really
Japan
good. I don't
is
think there
just
was a miss
probably.
for the food we ate and everything. Of course, we did
Really?
research and everything, which we need to do
Wow.
a food video soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got tons of foodie opinions and thoughts and ideas.
What other IP? Oh, I think they have Sesame Street. There's a big one, and Transformers, Scooby Doo. I'm looking at the list right now. It's a lot of like
Transformers,
and they also have
another
Marvel
great
too.
IP.
The Transformers ride is pretty cool. So here's the thing, I don't understand you because okay, Universal is all screens. It's all like screen rides, and I think that's one of the things. Like I was really worried when we went because I'm like, there's very few actual like moving coasters and things like that. A lot of it is screens, and he gets really sick.
Nauseous.
Super motion sick. I don't understand this guy because like we can go on like the simplest moving ride at Disney World or even like in local theme parks and things like that, and he gets so nauseous and he's like, I'm out for the whole day, like don't talk to me, I'm just gonna sit here in the corner and vomit. But then we go to Universal, and because it's IP that he likes, all of a sudden he's like, yeah, it's fine riding Spider-Man.
The
and
IP
like,
goes
it's
over
fine
and
riding Transformers. Like the Transformers ride is all screen. It's exactly that. And he's just like, yeah, woohoo, Transformers.
No, that's not true. I felt nauseous.
His body's like, for the ride, we will hang on tight, you know?
No, I felt nauseous. I was just like squinting my eyes and at certain parts closing them during the Spider-Man ride and during the Transformers ride because I had been on the Transformers one before at Universal Hollywood, so I knew what to expect. But the first time I rode it at Universal Hollywood, I was nauseous. And
the
like,
only one you really got super badly affected by was Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Yeah,
that one
Journey
was bad.
terrible.
got off
That's a great ride.
In
That's
terms
a
of
great ride,
nauseousness.
Yeah.
No, like it is amazing ride. Amazing ride.
We gotta get you some like gravel or something before you go on the ride.
Yeah.
I'm just sleepy for the whole day.
But he got like pretty motion sick after that one. He had to sit for a while. But like Transformers and stuff, like you made it off those rides.
Yeah. I like so like
If you didn't, I'd be very
Like, you know what I
concerned.
mean? Like, he was able to continue the
I'm not
day.
moving.
like Transformers
You're
is
right.
a great IP,
Mhm.
amazing IP. One of the best movies out there. Like if you go and see charts, they're one of their movies top 20 all time gross worldwide. So like definitely up there. But like for me, when you think about some of these, gosh, I had a thought and it slipped my mind. I was going to talk about Transformers, but then Marvel, right? I was going to talk about Marvel. It's kind of weird going in and seeing, like, for example, I saw Wolverine, and so I went and like said hello and like got a picture with him, so it's kind of cool. But again, Wolverine's now part of the
One of the
Marvel
best characters
universe.
bring out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Canadian.
Canadian, yeah. And like it just sucks though, but because now Disney owns the rights to Marvel, but because we're in Orlando, I guess Universal has those rights still. So it's weird seeing these different versions of Wolverine or Spider-Man or like the Hulk and people like that. But those were some of the IPs that we did see because they have a Spider-Man ride there. They have the Hulk
Incredible Hulk
coaster.
coaster.
Yeah,
They have the Doctor Doom
ride,
but we didn't
but
ride
which
that
is
one.
huge.
From what I
right
know,
now.
aren't they like more just like rides are like themed with like the more of like
They're-
amusement rides?
Their ride is themed. It's not. It's not like an area.
No, it's
They're-
like no, there's an area. What are you talking
But-
about? It's like superhero.
no, they're-
It's like
Yeah.
it's a comic book. It's
Yeah,
comic
yeah.
book
But-
land or whatever. It's something like that.
no, but that's
But it's
like,
not the same as like Disney when it comes to the theming.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was, except for it was different because it wasn't like I'm seeing. It wasn't like you're in Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's
So
like
they can't do that.
where it's like this is where the characters actually live and eat
Or
and
not
do
even-
whatever. It was like no, it's comic book land, so they made it all themed comic booky. So
The costumes are not as good though, from what I
no,
saw.
They're not as
no,
good.
they're not as good. And like they did have meet and greets. Ruben met Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you met Wolverine. The Spider-Man ride is actually like it is very themed throughout.
Yeah.
I would
I
say
went to the one in Japan.
the Hulk one was the Hulk. We didn't.
Did you go on the-
We didn't go
Yeah.
into. Yeah, we didn't do Doctor Doom, so I don't know what that one is all like. But the Hulk one, like the theming is there throughout the queue, but then it's just a green roller coaster.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. What I meant by it's not really themed is that it's comic book world, and so you're just entering different comics. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
versus-
like for example, I would have done X-Men World. You know how much material you have there as a fan. I would have done a whole world for Spider-Man. I grew up on the old Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And so for me, I'm like, there's so much material in Spider-Man alone.
Yeah.
Forget it, but he needs his own world, in my opinion. And so that's why it's like, sure, comic book world, and you're just gonna toss like all of these characters in
His
there.
own
Sure,
world is Queens. Like
I think there's a lot of limitations for them because I think I forgot what it was. I think their agreement is like comics until a certain point or something.
Yeah.
right. But my
Like
point is that like,
2009, yeah.
but my point
But
is
there's
that,
a lot of stuff. You're right.
No, but like my point is that like they made this world way before that agreement. The comic book world existed way before the Marvel rights were signed off to Disney, and yet they still chose to do this. I wouldn't have done it this way. I would have been like, I know how much people love these like IPs. I'm gonna invest way more rather than going. Everybody gets tossed in here, and you get one little ride here and there. And it's weird because now you're gonna go to Universal to ride Doctor Doom when now Doctor Doom is actually like headlining the new, the two new Avenger movies coming
They
out.
actually revealed a lot of the actors in the movie
I
today.
saw that. Apparently Scarlet Witch is not coming back.
okay, well that's Disney, so let's move on.
Technically, we're talking about Doctor Doom here.
I get what you're saying. I think that you're forgetting that when this was done, so this whole idea of like having these immersive lands is not,
It's very new.
yeah, it's new. Like, it's like when you look at Disney, even when they had Fantasyland, it was like, this is where all the princesses hung out, but that's not the same thing as having Arendelle or having like whatever. This is it's the same type of idea. They just created a land where like all of them could kind of coexist. And so the way they did that was like the commonality of they're all from comics.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it does feel weird, and it kind of fits with the rest of the lands that are there, because right next to it is like Toon Lagoon, which is all like Popeye and like other cartoons like Betty Boop and things like that. So it fits with that theming. But it's like you feel like you're in a cartoon. You're walking around and everything looks cartoonish, and there's like the big graphics that say like bam, pow, like things like that as you're walking around, and it's like it makes you feel like you're in a comic, but it doesn't make you feel like you're
in the world.
Like you're not a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly the reason why, though, I'm saying what I'm saying, because they were willing to make all of this whole land for Dr. Seuss. They were willing to make this whole place for Toon Lagoon or whatever, and yet they slapped all comics together. And I'm like, in my opinion, Spider-Man alone was bigger.
Yeah, but that's a new concept.
Yeah,
right.
And
but
I think, Ruben, I think for you, that's one of the big things that it won you over for Disney compared to Universal, right? The immersive. And I think for Universal, I don't think that they're gonna. Sorry, I keep thinking a lot. I don't think they're going to have that many like investment into Marvel stuff, given the fact that next door they have this huge thing that like right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can't. They legally can't. But like. You want to experience that? Then we need to go to DCA and do Avengers Campus, because
let's go tomorrow.
Talking about the rights, by the way, that's what we thought. Like, Universal is going to be restricted to only selling IP and like material that's based off of the old like Marvel characters and comic book storylines. But when we actually went to the parks, to the stores, I kid you not, we were seeing current Marvel merch. Like the merch that is like Avengers today, that storyline. And so I'm like, this is weird. Like, what are you doing selling Thanos' stuff here? But okay.
It was definitely
Thanos
weird.
was long time ago too, but yeah.
Okay. There's a big one that we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
We kind of tiptoed around it a little bit.
Oh, I don't know.
If you say Simpson,
I don't know. I think we're talking about different ones, because now I think I know what Ambrose is talking about.
Okay, go for it.
I was gonna say Despicable Me.
Oh, we're talking different.
He's amazing.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about the Simpsons, right?
Oh no, I was gonna talk about a different one, but then continue.
Okay.
Yes, Despicable Me.
Okay, so Despicable Me, like again,
is it Illumination Land or something?
It's Minions Land.
Minions Land.
So they used to have the Despicable Me ride that is currently still there. It's called Minion Mayhem. That one like has been around for years, like for so long. And I remember like riding it years ago, like as a teenager probably. And it was, again, more of a 4D experience.
I got nauseous with that ride. I remember. That's the first and the only ride I've been nauseous on, minus another ride, which we'll talk about another time.
Okay, well, as someone who doesn't get nauseous on rides like that, I loved that ride. I loved the 4D experience. They have now removed it, so it's just more of like almost like a D-box movie where like your seat moves, but like the screen doesn't like come out at you. Still good. I still enjoyed it. It's still cute. I don't think it's something that like is a must do for like adults, but like for kids. The pre-show was also really fun. They kind of poke fun at people in the line, and you see a lot of the minions like just doing
like who didn't
stuff.
shower and then you get chosen.
Yeah, exactly.
I was chosen in the Japan one.
The minions are so cute. Gru is like an incredible character. I mean, Steve Carell voicing him is just like such a good fit, but like it was just that ride. And then eventually, like now they've expanded it and they've made it like Minions Land.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So they have like a bake shop, and they have a a cafe, and they have
where you can eat the minion.
Yeah, and they do have like a meet and greet where you can meet some of the characters. So they we saw Vector walking around. So they have some like cool like stuff, and then they also have like the Villain Con ride, which is like
a standing shooter type ride.
Yeah, so it's similar to all the shooter rides that you do, like the shooter style rides, but it's like you're standing on like a conveyor belt and it's moving you through rooms and you're shooting at the screen. It's really it's fun. My arm was a little tired after holding the gun because it's kind of heavy, but it's a fun ride. It was really cool. The queue is really like awesome, and I think the concept behind it is really cool because it's all about like if you're going to a villain conference. And so they're like advertising these villains. They're like looking for the next villain who's gonna like take whatever, and they're advertising all the villains, and they're talking about how bad they are and how like, oh, look at the like this crime that they committed, look at whatever that they did, and they have their weapons on display and their outfits on display. It's a really cool. It's like Comic-Con but for villains, and it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
For the other Minion Mayhem, do they still go through Gru's house in their queue?
Yeah,
okay.
which is really cute.
I really enjoyed that when I went to Japan. I was like, that's so cool. And Viv, well, I didn't go with Viv that time, but my sister was like, cool. And I'm like, look at that. Look at that. Right, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I thought it was really cute.
Minions Mayhem, I actually read that they had to change the ride because too many people were getting nauseous.
Yeah.
And
I only
so
got nauseous for like 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm pretty good on
but
rides.
they changed the entire ride experience for everyone, and so like I wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for me, but like
I wonder if the
I'm thankful
Japan
they
one
did.
is still the original one.
I mean, like, you never know, because sometimes certain places, like, one does it and the other one might follow or whatever. Like, but sometimes they kind of stick to their own thing. Like, I think Ratatouille in France is not 3D anymore, but in Florida it still is. So, like, who knows?
Cool.
But yeah, they took away the 3D element. The Minions Land is really cute. Did we have any of the food there?
I don't
No,
think so.
no, we didn't. But like they had a cute like bakery with like stuff that looked just overly sweet, and we were like, I don't know that I want like these cupcakes and whatever.
I wish I saw more minions walking around.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw a minion walking around even once.
Because they're not going to be small; they're going to be massive.
Yeah, but
it's
but
way
they
too
have...
disproportionate. It's like a giant like.
That's not true.
It reminds me of those like lemonade stands. They have it like those like fairs. That's how like pretty much.
Like no, that's not. So they have technology where they have a gun that makes a minion larger. So they can just be like, this is a large minion because of this, like, you know, not shrink gun, but the opposite of a shrink gun or whatever. Like they can do something if they want to. They just didn't, and I'm like, bro, I think that would be fun. My kids will love that, and can't wait to actually take them there for them to see that. Simpsons Land, guys. I know there's many people who love The Simpsons. I did not grow up with The Simpsons. Did you? I don't know if you did.
No, so I was not allowed to watch it because my parents were like, this is so inappropriate for kids.
Bro.
So I never watched it.
I think that's true.
It is so. It's so
inappropriate. The ride that we rode, whatever the ride was called, like the main attraction at Simpsons Land was. I was watching this show and I'm like, yo, this is like inappropriate. Like, why are we like? It was just so graphic.
It's an adult cartoon. It's not made for kids.
Right, but it was so graphic. Like maybe that's just not my taste.
I totally watched it when I was a kid, but you know, at my grandparents' house. We didn't have cable at home, so my grandparents' house like, ooh, Simpsons. But then it is pretty inappropriate for children. But not one of the worst out there. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say though that like as much as it's not an IP that I grew up with loving, if you do love The Simpsons, you are going to love it because it's so like it is more of an immersive land. Like you walk around, you walk down the street and there's like the cop car and like the cop is out there and like when you come close to the car,
Chief
like
Wiggum.
the sirens go off and like it yells at you and there's like the what's it called, Lard Lad Donuts, like they have that stand and like people buy donuts there and the donuts are good donuts. Like I love.
They're huge. I want to get one.
They have the small ones too. So I got the huge one. The huge one is really, really good. I got that one when we were in. I've gotten it from Orlando before years ago, but then we got it when we were in Hollywood, and that one was amazing. Yeah. It's like bigger than your face. But then when we went this last time, I was like, "Hey, you want to share this with me?" And Ruben was like, "No," and I'm like, okay, well then I'll just get a small one. So I got a small one. It was still good, but it wasn't as good as the big one.
They have the aliens ride, so it's like a little like a mini like dumb what's it called?
Like a Dumbo style spinner ride.
But you're riding in like the Simpsons alien thing. I don't know.
Do you know their names?
Kong and Kodo or something. I don't remember what they're called.
Kang and Kodo.
Kang and Kodo. And they have like
they have the beer. You could buy the beer.
Yeah, the Duff beer. Like they have like a bar, right? Which everything is right on the water, which is kind of nice. It's like it gives me Epcot vibes where it's like there's
100%.
There's water right in the center, and you're surrounded. Yeah, there's water right in the center, and it's like everything is surrounding the water. So everywhere you go, you just get a nice view, which is really cool.
And a nice breeze if it's a hot day. So.
I think a lot of Universal parks actually have that. I think the one in Japan and where it's like along the waterway, it's really nice.
Yeah, which is really nice. Like, you don't get that at all the parks at Disney, but you get it at Epcot, which I do love about Epcot. It's like you're walking constantly around like the lagoon, and that's how it is in Universal. It's like both, like when you're just walking around the lagoon in both parks. Like both parks have this like lagoon.
Wait till you go to
like,
Disney
circle.
Sea.
Yeah, I mean, you're
I've
literally
seen
on
videos.
the sea.
Yeah. It's probably right.
Right.
On steroids.
I think probably the last big one is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo World. I think Universal does an like amazing job acquiring licenses for franchises that can sell merch like crazy. I think, yeah, you have the Nintendo franchise. Basically, if you get Nintendo, you can have like literally everything from Nintendo, which is so cool. And once again, it's like the video game. You're immersed inside the video game. Of course, it's a newer world. Ruben will love it, right? And I think it's only in Hollywood at the moment, California at the moment.
They don't have it.
Epic.
They don't have it in Japan.
They do, but I didn't go when it wasn't open back then.
Yeah. So when we went to Hollywood, it wasn't open yet. They opened it maybe 2 years after, and then they are opening it in May at Epic Universe, and it looks insane. It looks really cool, and like
riding the cart, right?
Yeah,
the whole
like,
Donkey Kong thing as well.
Yeah.
New edition.
And like growing up, right? Like that was like I wasn't a big video game person generally, but Nintendo, like when you played like Mario, that was like the one video game that was like friendly for everybody in the family. So it was like we would play Mario Kart, we would play like Super Mario and like Mario Party. I loved Mario Party.
Ooh, yes. When you would destroy your fingers on the
you have to like smash AB like over and over again super fast. So I loved Mario Party. And like like you have your favorite characters. Like my favorite character is Yoshi. Like I can't wait to see how Yoshi's represented and get all the Yoshi merch. Arabella loves Princess Peach. Mila loves Princess Daisy. So it's like seeing some of these things come to be would be
you guys
so
gonna spend
cool.
so much money. Oh my goodness, I can just see it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna spend so much money on merch. we're at the point now
where
we're at the point now where I'm not scared about like Disney merch because like we've bought so much of it already that like when the kids see something, they're like, "Oh, we like this," and I'm like, "You have it at home." Like it's already.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when you go to Universal,
it's gonna be all new merch. Yeah.
They have their version. So in the Epic Universe pavilion, that where they had kind of like the model where you could see the lands and you could see what it's gonna look like. They had their version of Mickey ears.
Yeah, the headbands. But they had like Yoshi or Peach or whatever, like
Bowser. Like they had those. Like it was cool.
There is a popcorn bucket I want to buy. It's the star, the power star.
Oh, that's so cool.
Dude, that's
and it lights up too. So and I might have to get the power band. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we play. Which one does Arabella have? Wonder, like Super Mario Wonder. Yeah. We play that with her all the time, and like we all get into it. And even Lucas, who doesn't really know how to play, we give him a controller, and he just goes, Mario, go. So he's like, he's so into cute. It. So we can't wait. Like they're gonna just love that land.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's one of those ones where it's like they're making it super immersive on purpose, and like you feel like you're really like in one of the games, and you see the pipes and the coins and the blocks and all those things.
Now, I don't have my phone on me, but like there's some exciting new things coming with some of the new IPs, which I'm happy about, because like I feel like these theme parks don't match the timeline of when IPs are hot.
Yeah, like How to Train Your Dragon.
Exactly. So that's the one I was going to mention. That like they're maximizing on How to Train Your Dragon with the live action movie coming out, and also then dropping this brand new ride that's going to be great.
There's like a show too.
I didn't know there was a show.
Yeah,
there's a show. Yeah,
there's a show. I think there's like, because the way that they're doing it is like there's going to be some details. It's like mostly, even with like the new like Ministry of Magic. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's Ministry of Magic, and it's gonna be very true to the movies. But then there's gonna be like some of the stuff with like Fantastic Beasts. So with with How to Train Your Dragon, it's like Isle of Berk, but it's gonna have some of the stuff from the show too, as well as like the movies.
Do you know I actually went to I think it was the Sky was not Skydome, sorry, the Scotiabank Arena. No,
Roger
what is
Center.
it? Rogers Center, there it is. I actually, when I was younger, like in high school, I actually
Tell
went
me you're old
to
without
a
telling
full
me you're old. Like the Sky Dome. Don't worry, I said that like a couple weeks ago too.
True. When I actually went to a live action How to Train Your Dragon show.
What? Where?
A long while ago. I forgot what it's called.
That's
and then,
crazy.
and we had like the animatronics and everything stuff. It was really funny. During the show, the animatronic that the people were on malfunctioned. So they were just there. And then they're like waving, and then we're just like,
See, this is
right.
I don't want to get into my whole Universal rant. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about all of it. But like this is one of the things that we felt when we were there is like everything kept shutting down. There were so many ride closures, like so many things malfunctioning, and it just was so frustrating because I'm like, you don't get like there were points of the day where it was like 6 or 7 rides are all down in one park, and I'm like, what are you supposed to do right now?
Yeah, I'm here for rope drop, and there's like 2 options. Like, what do you
Yeah,
want?
no, it was
True,
that
true.
was not good. But we'll talk about that another time when we talk about like why. I'm not even gonna make it like which one is better, Universal or Disney. It's like why Disney's better. We're gonna talk about that one day.
Oh, true. Wait till you guys go to Epic. Maybe might
Yeah.
change your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's are there any other IPs sticking out, you guys think? That
There's
we
Sesame
missed?
Street. I don't know.
Not
Was there a bunch
really.
of Sesame Street?
I don't remember
No.
anything.
It might be
no,
more of a
no.
Japan thing. Oh no, I'm seeing it. It's a big thing in Japan and then Singapore. Because I know for the Japanese people and a lot of Asian countries, they're all about merch. Because when I went to in Japan, they had like universal ears kind of thing for every character. They had like for every like Sesame Street, like people in Japan go
Wow.
all out when it comes to merch.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then because in the parks they're allowed to also technically like cosplay because there's a less of a rule regarding the characters,
And,
so
like,
you can kind
costumes
of
and
dress up
stuff.
like whereas I know in like Hollywood, no, in California and Florida, there's like you can't dress like the characters at all, right?
Yeah, you can Disney bound where like you look like you
It's
have
similar,
similar,
but-
but not
yeah.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they for Sesame Street they go hard for merch because I think I'm trying to think where is it? I think SeaWorld or something has a lot of Sesame Street or something in Orlando or
I
something.
don't know. We've never been to SeaWorld.
Never been, yeah.
Neither
I've
have
heard
I.
some good things though.
Yeah,
about
we've heard some
SeaWorld.
cool stuff, but like we've never been.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, like, and that's the thing. Is like it's kind of cool having all these parks there at the same time because they are competing with one another. They are doing like trying to kind of one up the other, and it's only beneficial to us as consumers that we get to like really enjoy this. Like Epic Universe opening it's like that's gonna be huge, but like Disney knows that means that like it's good business for them too. People are not coming just to go to Epic and that's it. Like they're gonna be like, well, why not? I'm already here, and they're gonna go to Disney. When Disney opens up their lands, people are gonna want to go to like to Universal. So it's all these like things are actually feeding one another, which is really cool. But yeah, like Epic Universe is exactly what you've been wanting, where it's like those immersive lands and you're going to experience
Yes.
all of that. And
Yes.
like, I think when they start doing that, they'll start refurbing some of the other lands because they have like, they'll see the interest there, but also they will have so much more that people can do that they can shut down an entire land and like refurb.
Yeah, I think the second thing you said is 100% true. Like they'll have more to do so that they can do more refurbishment. But I think they're going to lean towards a route of they'll take some rides that are kind of old or some lands that are old and they'll just put new IP into it, instead, which is what they've done so far, rather than like, giving a little bit of refurbishment or like an upgrade.
Yeah.
One that we didn't mention that I just thought of was Men in Black. We didn't ride that ride, but it's a great IP, great movie. Loved it, from Will Smith all the way down to the newest one. And like I didn't get to ride the ride,
Ghostbusters,
but I
another
heard
one
it's
too.
good.
The Men
Yeah,
in
that's
Black
another
ride
one.
is a shooter style ride, where like your vehicle's like moving and stuff. But instead of screens, like you're shooting actual, or like instead of screens or
So
laser
it's kind of
targets,
like
you're shooting
Buzz
actual
Lightyear one.
aliens. Well, kind of like the Buzz Lightyear, you're still shooting at like a target, right? Like there's
Oh.
like a laser target.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has like
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
batteries, right? Like the
Yeah, yeah,
Zeds.
yeah.
But you're not
How does
doing
that
that
work?
for, but you're for the aliens. It's like anywhere on the alien. If you shoot the alien, then the alien like does like a kind of goes down, or like does a
There.
thing, or like your vehicle, if you can shoot other people's vehicles too. So like if somebody shoots your vehicle will spin. So there's a lot of like
That's
you're
pretty cool.
shooting real things. Um as somebody who's not like a big Men in Black fan, again, because I'm not into all these like IPs. Can you tell what
Ruben.
kind of movies I like? I like comedies and like rom-coms. That's basically it. But as somebody who's not a big like Men in Black fan, I still enjoy the ride. The ride is really cool. It's a really fun like it's a fun like competitive ride to experience, and like the pre-show is pretty cool. I don't know if they've like redone it with the new characters, like cause since they've redone Men in Black, but like I'm pretty sure it's still like Will Smith. He does the zap, and like you forget everything that happens.
Cool. Any last ones, Ambrose? Honorable mentions?
I think there's Hello Kitty. There's a lot of things that I think. Honestly, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Universal knows how to like
Mm-hmm.
get licenses for stuff that sell. Like
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So
I
like
haven't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like there are like a couple other ones that like we didn't really like.
Monster Universe. That's a big one.
Yeah, Monster Universe, which is like huge for Halloween Horror Nights because they do like the big Halloween Horror Nights. They're doing like Dark Universe, like all of that, which is very different from like something like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is geared towards kids. But like Halloween Horror Nights is like literally horrific and like horrifies like adults, like grown adults are scared. So very different.
For everyone watching or listening, me, Dora, and Ruben are not really about haunted houses and like horror nights. We're not really about that. Firstly, I am a bit of a softie when it comes to like scared and jump scares. I hate jump scares, and also
Yeah.
I don't think we're not really that crowd when it comes
Yeah.
No.
to all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
see, Ruben and I were talking about like if we were to go together, like we were
Mhm.
talking about planning our trip for next year, and like
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know how much of Dark Universe you and Ambrose are gonna do because it's not like it's not like you guys love that kind of stuff. But on top of that, like I'm pretty sure me and Viv both won't go in. Like I'm not walking through Dark Universe. I will be like, if you have to
I will.
walk through, if you have to walk through to go to the next land, I'll be like, I'm gonna go the long way around.
No, I think I'll enjoy it because I like the idea of maybe not the characters or the. I've never really watched some of the movies and stuff because they tried to make a whole dark universe like movies series, but then that like that didn't happen. But I
Yeah.
like the whole idea of like every character in the like the historical or like aspect of it. Like the back then with the black and white characters and stuff. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm excited about the animatronics for Unchained. That looks phenomenal. The new ride, the most. But like I said, I'm not most excited about that one. So
Yeah.
I think right now they only have like the mummy ride. Do you guys went on that?
No, so I've been on that one before.
Mhm.
I was terrified as a kid, and I told Ruben, I'm like, I'm not going on it again. And then he was like, no, please, you have to go on it with me. And because I know it's like a really like fantastic ride and people love it, I was like, okay, I'll do it with you. But then to my luck and to his downfall, they did not have like it wasn't running. It was closed for that one, and Men in Black were closed the entire time we were there. Like I think they were like refurbing
Yeah.
a bit, but then or like just upgrading a little bit. But like I've heard people who have experienced it now really, really love it. I personally I recall closing my eyes the entire time, so I don't remember much about it.
See, that's
Don't
why
worry, Ruben.
that-
I'll go with you when we go
Thank
next year.
you. Thank you. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I was just like freaked out a
The
little
the original ones were so good, but so
bit.
scary.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on this podcast day where we talked about Universal IPs. Honestly, Universal is definitely a park that, if you're booking, for example, your Disney trip, I would recommend including a day or two with Epic Universe coming out in May, probably more.
100%.
Because it definitely is amazing.
It's worth the visit.
If you love the IPs, you don't want to miss out. 100%. Velocicoaster, the thrill of that ride, unmatched in my opinion, to anything that you can get at Disney World, Orlando, Florida, and then all of the Harry Potter worlds, whether you're at
Which we will
Hogsmeade.
talk about another time.
Yes.
Just for today, that Harry Potter world is in Universal.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
and it's enough to go. So thanks for joining us today. We all hope that you enjoyed this podcast. If you liked what you saw, follow us, subscribe, like, comment. Let us know what topics you want us to talk about. We don't really get many comments, so if you comment, we probably will answer and probably will call you out. So there's some incentive. But yeah, we'll see you next time around. Thanks for joining us, and have a great week.